everyone. This is Paramita, a Salesforce developer. Today I am going to talk about Marketing Cloud. In this video, I am going to show you one Marketing Cloud campaign project from scratch. So this is going to be an end-to-end project and I will try to keep it short. I'll try to keep it within half an hour, okay? If not, maybe a little bit more. Now, today's use case is like sending email with discount coupon on birthday. Suppose you have a customer register data extension, okay, which contain maybe customer ID, first name, last name, birthday, like that. Okay, so the first thing what we are going to do, we are going to create a journey first. Now, I want to mention something here. There is no any hard and fast rule that you have to start this project by creating journey in the beginning only. It's totally up to you and your team what you decide. If you want, you can start creating the assets first, like your email or any other message which you are going to use. You can create that first, you can prepare your data, and you can create your journey at the end. Okay, it's totally up to you. But in this scenario, we don't have enough, like a lot of documentation, lot of time in the Marketing Cloud. Actually, we will not have a lot of documentation because we have to do the work first. So in this situation, I prefer to create my journey first. So what happens then, the journey, it's like it works like a plan to me. Okay, so because after creating the journey only, I will come to know like what assets I will need, what data I will need. Okay, so I'm going to create the journey first. All right. Okay, so we are here in Journey Builder. Now you can create a new journey from scratch. Okay, we'll select multi-step journey like this, or you can use the journey templates. Like on the top, click on templates. You can see there are quite a few journey templates. As usual, Salesforce always makes it easy for us. Okay, quite a few journey templates are there: abandoned cart, anniversary, birthday, welcome journey. Now we are going to send email with a discounted voucher on birthday of each customer. Okay, so the birthday journey will be good for us. It relates to our use case. So instead of creating from the scratch, I am choosing birthday journey today. Okay, it's totally up to you. If you want to create it from scratch, you can do that. Now you can read all these things at your time. I'll click on get started. Okay. Now in the left hand side, you can see quite a few entry sources available. Okay. You should learn one by one. Now today I am going to use data extension as our entry source. Now in the template there is event. Now what I'm going to do, I will delete that, and instead of event I am going to drag and drop data extension. Okay. Yeah. Now we have to configure this. I'm not configuring it now because our data extension is not ready yet. After preparing data and assets, we'll configure all the items. Now, if you want, you can make changes here. Whatever changes you want to make, you can. Okay, so it's totally up to you. You can choose. Like here, what I can see, first we are sending one email. Okay, that can be our uh, happy birthday email. Then 3 days wait, and after that decision split. Now, here one thing I want to mention, I am not going to explain in too much detail about all the tools I'm going to use. Like I will use Journey Builder, I will use Automation Studio, I will use Query Activity. Now, if I want to explain each and everything for each tool, it will be one hour for each tool. Okay, so here my scope mm, is not explaining each and everything of each tool, rather creating an end-to-end marketing cloud campaign project. Okay, so I will create the project. Okay, and I expect that you have some basic knowledge of these tools. If you don't have, that's perfectly all right. Just watch and practice whatever I am doing, and maybe in future I will make video for each and every tool one by one. Okay, but today in this video I'll just create the project. Okay, so the entry source we have decided data extension. Now this is the first email, that is fine. Then 3 days wait. Okay, see, just quickly I'll show you in the on the left hand side there are entry source activities, different like email activities, in-app message activities, lot of activities there. And then flow control tools like decision split, join, all these are flow control tools. So then sales and service cloud, these are also there. Okay, so quickly we'll just look what is there and what changes we want to make. So here the first, after sending the first email, there is a decision split. So on the first leg, if they, okay, so here it's very important to think about your goal and the exit criteria of the journey. Okay, so what the goal of this journey? So our goal is basically selling the product or the service. Okay, we are sending happy birthday email, that's totally all right. We are wishing them all best wishes for birthday, that's fine. But our goal, you have to keep in mind, we are sending the discount voucher to increase our sale. Basically, we want to convert the customer so that they will buy our product or service. So now, so in the decision split, what we are going to decide, we will decide whether after 3 days they have already used our coupon and made the purchase or not. If they have already made the purchase, then I will prefer them to exit the journey. Okay, I don't need to send any email here, but again, it's your decision, your team's decision, and maybe someone will give you the requirement what they want. So as far as my requirement is concerned, I'm not going to send any email here, so I'll delete it. Okay, so just delete that. And after that there is a 1 day wait, that's fine, I will leave it as it is. Okay, it doesn't matter. And after that basically they will exit the journey here. Now what about the other leg? So other leg means if they haven't purchased yet, they will go in this path. If they haven't purchased yet, I would like to send them uh, one reminder email here. Okay, so that will remind them that, see, your voucher is going to expire and in another 4 days. Like, I will keep the voucher open for maybe 7 days only, but it's again up to you and your business team's decision if they want to extend it, if they want to keep it like 2 weeks valid or something. It's totally their decision, their business strategy. Okay, now I want to keep it valid for 1 week. Okay, so after 3 days I'm going to send them a reminder that, see, you got another 4 days only. All right, so there will be one email. And uh, after that again, whoever, like, after waiting 1 day, I will make it 2 days. Okay, not 1 day. So just click on that. If you want to change, just click on the element, and here you can see duration is 1 day. I will make it 2 day. 2. Okay, so done. So now here it became 2 days. So after waiting 2 days, so how many days? 3 days, 2 days, 5 days. So basically, sixth day, I am going to send another email here. Okay. Now, if I will see there will be another decision split. So here I will see if they have already purchased. If they have already purchased, I want them to go back here. So basically, they will exit. Okay. So if they have already purchased, don't need to send them another email. They will just exit here. Okay, so this is a join element. You can see this join element is joining here. So the exits. Okay, so why we use the join? If you don't use the join, there will not be any problem, but again you have to put another exit element here, and again you have to use the exit element. Instead of doing this, we use the joining element. Okay, so now in this link, if they haven't purchased yet, then they will go in the other path here. So in the other path, I am going to send another third email here. So after 5 days, also if they haven't purchased on the sixth day, I am going to send them the third email. This is a final reminder. See, hey, uh, your discount coupon, birthday discount coupon is going to expire tomorrow. So hurry. Okay, like this. So you can decide that what you are going to write and all. So in this way, so this is going to be the final reminder. And then also after waiting 1 day, if they didn't purchase or any product or service, then just leave them on the same on the sixth day. They are going to exit. What I'm going to do, instead of sixth day, I will make it 2 days. Okay, sometimes people can take time. Yeah, so it's totally up to your business strategy, how many days you want to wait and all. So as per your strategy, you just design the journey. Okay, so yeah, that's all. So our journey is already uh, done, but I have to configure all the elements here. I haven't configured anything yet, like the data extension, but I have to add the data extension here. Whatever you want to configure, just click on that, and then the screen will come and you have to configure. Now I will configure later on. First I have to create my data extension. My data is not prepared yet. I will do this. So that means what I have to do now, you can see from your journey builder, you have to prepare your data, you have to prepare your asset means your emails. Okay, so I have to prepare three email here: the first email, second email, and third email. So what I will do, I will basically create one email first, and then rest of the emails will be easy, that I will create from the existing email. Okay, now first, after finishing my journey builder, what I'm going to do, I will prepare my data, because without preparing data I will not be able to test my emails also. So my next step will be to prepare the data required for journey. Okay, so now which data we need here? Basically we are sending the emails on birthday, so we should have the detail of the customers, like their first name, last name, email. To send, it has to be a sendable data extension. Remember, it has to be a sendable data extension, otherwise you will not be able to use that. And uh, that data extension should have the information about the date of birth of each customers. Okay, one more thing I want to mention here, like we have to set our goal here for the journey. If you don't set any goal, don't set any exit criteria, then also your journey will run, but it's always good practice to set it. Now I will not set it now. What I will do, first I will prepare my data. I'll I will do my email, everything. So, and after that, before before running the journey, when we will configure the journey, that time I will set that the goal and the exit criteria. Okay. Now I have already created one data extension here, test cast. You can see there are quite a few records. There are ID, first name, last name, email, gender, and date of birth. Okay, so quite a few records are there, 30 records, I think. And one thing I got to understand here, the about the birth date. Now the date, like the date here in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud server, the date will come as per the Salesforce Marketing Cloud server timing. So this is, I think, US timing. Now I am in Australia, like today is 17th of September, but probably as per the Salesforce server, it will be 16th of September. Okay, so for that, we don't need to do anything, like we'll go as per the system time. That's okay. Now, few records I have created where the date of birth will be like exactly 17th of September, but the year will be different. Like you see the last record, Barun, it's 17th September, but I know my server timing is now actually 16th September. So I have also created a record for 16th September, and so that's why that's why it should come when I am going to filter. Okay, 16th September, but the year is like 2000. Now here we have to decide that how we are going to prepare our data. Okay, now here it's quite straightforward. Only one data extension is here. So maybe you can think that then I can just use the data filter to filter the data filter, or even in Journey Builder also there is an option to filter data if you are just using one data extension. But there is a catch. Even if it's so simple, not two data extension involved or anything, just one data extension, still you cannot use the data filter here, because I tried. But what's happening if you use today? First of all, today the date, the thing is that even if the month and day is same, but the year is different. Today it's 2023, but here the date of birth will not be 2023. It's not a baby, so date of birth year will be all different. Okay, so that's the reason why I am going to use here SQL query activity, and I will use that SQL query activity in the automation studio to automate it, so it will run every day. Okay, so it will run every day, and every day it's going to refresh my data extension, because every day different people will have the date of birth. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. Now to do this, I have to create one output data extension, like this is my base data extension. Now, one thing I want to discuss with you here, maybe in your situation, it can be different. Like maybe there is no any data extension like this. You have to create that. Like maybe you have to derive the data uh, from a synchronized data extension, like uh, from Salesforce CRM. Most of the time, data syncs in the synchronized data extension, and maybe you have to derive the data from synchronized data extension. Suppose from contact data extension, Salesforce contact data extension, and you have to derive from there, and you have to create your own data extension in Marketing Cloud. Okay, and one more thing, you cannot use synchronized data extension directly for any journey or email or anything. Okay, it's not going to work. So you have to prepare your data. Okay, if you are using the sync data, you have to create your data extension by deriving data from synchronized data extension. Synchronized data extension cannot be used directly. Okay, all right. So this is our base data extension. We are going to create one another output data extension, where after filtering data, the new data every day, for every day the new data will be stored there. Okay, and how we are going to create that? In the same folder, in the same folder, parameter test, I'm going to create one standard data extension, because uh, I am going to use SQL query activity. So this data extension will be standard data extension as well. Creation method, I am going to create it from the same data extension. Okay, create from the existing. And what data extension is that? create from the same data extension. That's how you don't need to write all the column names and everything. And it has to be the same like the base data extension. So the best way is just make the data extension from the existing data extension. Now in parameter test folder, I have that test cast. Okay, I'll select that, then okay. Now it will give a name, like it will add some numbers and stuff to make it different name, but you can choose any other name. Now instead of keeping these numbers and stuff, what I will do, test cast, the base data extension was test cast, so this one I will say test cast dob for date of birth. Okay, now here when you are creating it, just little bit check it's is sendable, is testable. So this is this data extension, this output data extension, this is going to be our final data actually. We will use for email, for like journey, this data extension. Okay, so it has to be is sendable and is testable so that we can do testing. Then next, next. See, all those columns and all the configuration just came automatically. We don't have to do anything. Then create. So parameter cast dob. Now at this moment there is no record. Okay, nothing is there. Now what we are going to do, automation studio. So under the journey builder, you can see automation studio. Click on that. Now in the automation studio, you can see on the top there is overview, activities. I'll click on the activities now because first I'm going to create the SQL query activities. Now here in the right hand side, there is create activity button. Click on that. So there are quite a few activities: send email, import file, file transfer, data extract, SQL query, filter, script. Now I'm not going to discuss everything one by one because then it will take more than one video. And one more thing I want to mention here, I want to show you the whole project like as a whole so that you will get an idea. In future maybe I will make some like videos on each and every tool like automation studio, journey builder separately, but in this video I will just continue with the project. Okay, so we are going to create SQL query activity, so I will click on SQL query, select that, then next. Now give a name to the query. I will give dob query. Now description, I always say that always leave a note description relevant to your item, like here the SQL query activity. Here you can you can write like this query derives the data of customers having having the current date as their birthday, so something like that which is meaningful, which relate to your use case. Okay, now I'll just leave it empty for now because this is just for testing. So then next, yeah, so here we have to write our SQL query. Now I'm going to show you how you can write easily. Like left hand side you can see there are data extensions, under the data extensions folder, parameter test, there I have my data extension. Now here you can see all the data extension are there. Now what query you are going to write. Okay, so here I assume that you have basic knowledge of SQL query. For marketing cloud, basic knowledge of SQL query is really helpful. Now here I am going to use the select statement first. So instead of writing manually, we can just do this like, yeah, my base data extension is testcast. Okay, so I'm going to filter the data from testcast. So what I will do, I'll just double click on that. See, once you double click, all the columns came here. You don't have to write manually. Okay, I'll just take off that comma at the end because I don't have any other data, so I don't need that. Now here, what I have to do, I have to write select. Select will not come automatically. So select, and then all the column names from where we are going to derive, from my testcast data extension. Okay, so I will write the name test cast. Now it has to be same, exactly same. So it's always good practice. Just go to the data extension, copy the name from there and paste it here. Okay, this is a simple name, so I just wrote it down manually, but otherwise I always copy the data extension name and then paste here. All right, so select this from the all the columns from this test cast. Now we are going to use a where clause here to filter the data. So what the clause should be? The clause should be like where the birth date. Birth date means the value of this column, date of birth. Okay, this value will be equal to the current date. Okay, now one thing we have to understand here, if we just say the date of birth equals current date, okay, what happens? Now suppose I wrote date of birth means that column name equals current date. How can we get the current date? We can get the current date using the get date function of SQL. Okay, now if we do it like this, the problem is there. The current date will be 17th September 2023, or as per the system time it will be actually 16th September 2023, but nobody is going to have the birthday like 2023. Okay, so that means we have to derive only this month and day part. Okay, so there are some date part function in SQL. So month function, day function, year function is also available. So what I am going to do, I am going to use those function. Now I will say where month, within the month function I am going to pass this date of birth column. Okay, so where the month equals the month of current date. So within the month I will pass this get date. Okay, so not only the month, I also have to do the day also. So month and day both should be same, but the year doesn't need to be the same. In fact, it will never be same, because no one is going to born just today and come in our list. Okay, we don't want like just a newborn baby. So all right, so month, date of birth equals month, and then date. So we will use day function. What I'm going to do, I'll just copy the whole thing, Control C. I'll paste it here, and instead of month we'll use here day function. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you use the day first and then month then, so it's up to you. So what I want here, both these conditions should be satisfied. That's why I used here and operator. Okay, if I, instead of and, if I use here or this, then what happens if any one condition is satisfied? Suppose the day is 16th, but the month is 10, then also it will take the data, but we don't want that. What we want, month should be September and the day should be 16th. I mean 16th means today is 16th, but like whatever the current date, that date. Okay, so that's why we are using here and operator. Okay, so this is some SQL actually I just explained. So that's how my SQL statement is ready. Now once it's ready, we can validate the syntax. Okay, so there is some mistake. Okay, so here we don't need to put the semicolon. Sorry, it's my mistake. We don't need the semicolon. One more thing I want to show you here, like this red column, that is for error, and this is the yellow one for warning. Don't worry about the warning, you will always get the warning, but don't worry about that. But if you get this error, red one, that means you did some mistake. So you have to check. See, error, it's clearly showing the semicolon is the error. Sorry, a lot of programming languages, like I'm working together, like JavaScript and everything. So that's why some languages they use semicolon. So here in Marketing Cloud, we don't need to use semicolon in the SQL statement. So validate syntax now. Yeah, see, the error is gone. Okay, don't worry about this warning. It will always show this warning. All right, so this is done now. So then we have to go to the next level. So go to next. Now I will select my data extension folder, parameter test. Now here basically we have to choose the target data extension. Target data extension means from the base data extension, after using the query activity, when data will be filtered, the new data only with the people who are having birthday today will get those data only after filtration here in the target data extension. So my target detection extension, we have created what? Test cast DOB. Okay, if you can remember, we created the output data extension test cast DOB, and we created that exactly same as we have in our base data extension. Okay, so I will select this, then we'll go to the next. Okay, here another thing we have to select data action. Now append, update, override. Okay, so I am going to select it override because we have to do this because every day people will change. Every day birthday, like whoever is having the birthday in the current date, it's going to be changed. So we don't want any previous data to remain in the in this target data extension. We want new data every day. Okay, so we will choose override here. Update, append, we will not choose override. Okay, then next. Then everything is done. You can check here the properties. The query name is, see, dob query, and what else, override, it's showing. So yeah, all done. So we are going to finish. Click on finish. Yeah, so our SQL query activities are done. Now you can check this query, like where we saved. See here, SQL query in the query folder. This is our dob query. Okay, if you want to go and if you want to make any changes in that, if you want to edit, you can do that easily. Click on that and see, if you click here, you'll be able to do the delete. Okay, sorry, edit. Okay, now I don't need to do any edit here. Like you can go to the next and you can delete. Okay, now I am not going to do any change here. I'll just cancel activity. So okay, now we'll go to overview. In the overview, you can see in the right hand side, new automation. So we are going to create an automation which is going to run every day in a scheduled time. Like automation can be like different types of uh, starting sources are there: file drop automation, scheduled automation, trigger automation. Now we are going to use the scheduled automation here because you just think this is a welcome journey, sorry, not welcome, birthday journey. So every day it's going to be sent. Okay, so we can choose a timing, specific timing. It doesn't need to be file drop, but in case if you have a requirement like every day some certain file is coming in your ftp, and after the file comes, it should start. In that situation you can choose the file drop. Okay, but our situation is different. We are going to schedule. So just drag and drop. Okay, so you can configure a time. You can just configure it now actually. Start date. You can put a start date or put some future date. So whenever you want to start this automation, okay, but I am not going to configure it because I don't want this automation to start. I will just test it and I will run it and I will show it to you. Okay, so I'll just leave it as it is at the moment. Then I am going to add here a SQL query activity. Okay. Now in the left hand side, you can see the activities are there. A lot of different types of activities like file transfer, data extract. We need SQL query. We don't need any file transfer activity or anything here. We just need one SQL query activity. Okay. So SQL query activity, choose. We need this one. We just created this DOB query. So that's what we are going to choose. See, after choosing, you will be able to see this also, SQL query and stuff. Then done. So that's all we need and nothing else. But if you want, you can add one verification activity also here, like whether the SQL query activity is running fine or not. You can put a verification. It's totally optional, but this is a good practice. I always do this. So I'll just put a verification here and configure. Uh, I will say all data extension. So it will show all the data extensions. And then my target data extension was test cast. Yeah, this one, test cast DOB. I'll select my target data extension. Then next. So what will be the conditions? So it's totally up to how you are going to design your verification. My condition will be like, I want to know if any, uh, if it happens like sometimes, yeah, every time like data comes in, or you can choose if anytime data doesn't come in the new data extension. But one thing you got to understand, sometimes it may happen that no one is having birthday. Okay, so in that case the data will not come. So if you don't want any verification like this, you don't need to do this. But here, just to show you like how to set the verification, I am just using like if data doesn't come, if count is equal to 0. Okay, so that means no data came, because most of the time normally the data will come. Okay, so that's why I am selecting if data doesn't come, basically if the count is equal to 0. Okay, then so this is the current condition. If the count is equal to 0, that means if no data comes in the uh, target data extension, stop automation. If you do stop automation, it will stop automation. I'm not going to stop it. I'll just send one email notification. So I'll click on send email notification without stopping the automation. Okay, and I have to mention the recipient, who is going to be the recipient. So you can write your email. I'll just write a fake email here, p@gmail.com. Okay, and then that's all. Next, you can see the summary. Okay, so rules: if count is equal to 0, then the notification will go to this. Okay, it will not stop the automation, just it will send a notification that hey, no data came today. Okay, then finish. So that's how we can use a verification activity, okay, to verify that how the automation is going. All right, so I will save it. I have to give it a name. So I will give it a name, Paro DOB. That's all. Okay, and please write a description here, a meaningful description which will explain the purpose of this automation. I'm leaving it. I will just write here testing. Okay, it will be in this folder. You can choose any folder from here. You can create new folder also. So I'm just leaving it as it is. Save. You come here in the activity. In the activity, uh, in the activity area, in the left hand side, you can see notification settings. Okay. In the notification settings, runtime error. You can choose any of these like runtime error or skipped run. Okay, that means if for any reason it doesn't run, you can choose that email, like you can put an email address there, they will get the notification. Okay, so enter email address, runtime error or skipped run. I'll put the same email, p@gmail.com. You can choose the email who should be informed about this. Okay, so .com, yeah. And you can add note also. Note means suppose you will write a meaningful things, like hi dear, it requires attention as the automation didn't run, or something like this. Okay, some meaningful, whatever you think fit. Okay, so run completion. Now you can choose here also one email address. It can be same email or other email. If your automation runs successfully. Okay, that in that case, every time the automation runs every day, you will get the notification. Okay, here also you can mention email ID. Now I'm just leaving it here now. So done. Workflow. Yeah, so everything is done basically. Now what I'm going to do, I'll save it. Okay, now one thing I want to mention here, I didn't configure it, but just for testing, I'll give it a date. Okay, so I'll put it a future date, maybe 23rd of September. Oh, sorry, you can choose it from here. Yeah, just select this date. Okay, then done. I'm going to pause that. In fact, I'm going to delete it after finishing this video. So, okay, now I will save it again. So our automation is ready. Okay, so now if you want to activate it, just click here in the active button. You can see right now it's paused actually. Okay, now you can see the details are here, like starting date, everything is mentioned here. Now we are not going to activate this. Instead of activating, to test how it's going, we will run this automation. Now before running, one thing I want to show you, data extension which we created, the target data extension, like after running the automation, like every day the data will be refreshed there. So that target data extension we had here, test cast dob. Okay, so right now there is no data. Okay, it's zero. We just created the data extension because we haven't run our automation yet. So now I'm going to run this automation. I will not activate it, but to test it, like to test it, how it's working, here you can see run once option. So I'll run it. Okay. So once you click on the run, you have to choose the activities, which activities you want to run. If you want, you can run all the activities, or you can run a specific activity. Like we have here two activities. One is SQL query activity, another verification. In case if you don't want to run the verification, you can just select the SQL query activity. It's taking too long. My internet is slow. So you can select like here, select all activities. Okay, I'm going to run all activities, and after selecting all, here again you have to click on this run now. See, on the green button you can see Paru DOB started successfully. Paru DOB is the name of the automation. So now whether it has been successful or not, we can go to the data extension and we can check what data came there. And we can check like this also. In this top left corner, we'll go to browse all automations. Then it will show all the automations. Okay. Still it's in progress. See, in the right hand side, it's showing running. It hasn't finished yet. My internet is slow, so it's taking some time. But it can take some time as well. Waiting few minutes, you can refresh the page. Yeah, so it's showing completed. We'll go to email studio, and then data extension. Here parameter test, and our target data extension parameter test DOB. See, already one record came here. Can you see? There is only one record I know, like where date of birth was 16th of September. See the record? Yeah, it was 16th of September. So this is our system date, 16th September. Now, if you want to test, you can add another data to your data extension, and you can test. But I'm not going to waste any more time because I have checked it a lot of time. So whoever has got birthday today, they will come in this data extension. Okay. All right, so we have got our automation studio. So basically, our data has been prepared, and this data extension we are going to use as entry source for our journey. Okay, so this is the time to configure our journey and finish our project and wrap it up. Okay, so we'll go to journey builder now. Okay, so this is my journey here. So one thing I want to mention you, like I just edited the name of the journey. Like there was some default name came up, but I just click on the edit, like click on the edit, and I have put a name DOB Parv. Okay, you can put any name according to your company convention. Okay, now here in the data extension, first I'm going to configure the data extension. So click on that, then click on select data extension. Then here in the data extension folder, parameter test folder, I have my data extension. So we have created two data extension. One was this test cast, this base one, another one after filtering with SQL query activity, we got our target data extension, that is test cast DOB. Okay, so I will select that test cast DOB here. Okay, that's the data we have prepared for journey. So selected, and then yeah, that's fine. Then summary. Yeah, see, it has been selected, and then filter contacts. Now here, if you want, you can filter it, but try always keep your data clean. Okay, so I always prefer to make data prepared before entering into the journey. Okay, instead of filtering here, there is an option to filter, but I always try not to use that because that will put some pressure on the journey. Okay, so instead of that, I always prefer to prepare my data nice and clean before entering journey. Okay, so our data is already prepared. We don't need to do any filter or anything here. Then we'll click done. Okay, so the data extension is already configured. Now this journey, how we are going to run this journey. Okay, is it like a run once or recurring or depending on the automation? Now, this is definitely not a run once, it is going to be forever. Okay, like every year, like every day, some people are going to have the birthday. So definitely it's not run once, it's recurring. We can choose the recurring here. Okay, or what I'm going to do actually, automation. Okay, I will connect this journey with the automation, whatever we have created. So whenever the automation will run, this journey will run as well. Okay, we can do like this, or we can choose the recurring journey and we can schedule a time. Okay, like maybe if our automation run at suppose 6 a.m. every day, maybe at 6:30 we'll put the time of this one. Okay, or just to avoid any delay in automation or anything, I think best way is to select the automation. Whenever the automation will complete, after that straight away the journey will start. Okay, so I'll select automation. So set so here we can choose the automation. Okay, so Paru DOB you can see. I'll select this and then summary. So automation we have selected. Oh, yeah. So the contact evaluation, all these things, you should be very thorough if you're preparing for any certification, because you will get a lot of questions from here. Now evaluate new records only, evaluate all records. Okay. Now we can choose any of this because our data is prepared like every day by automation. Our data is getting refreshed. So basically evaluate all records. Okay. Hmm. Because here in this situation it will not it doesn't matter, you can choose these records also, but uh, there will be some situation where you have to think about it. New records means if your data extension get updated every day, like previous data will exist at the same time, and the new record will be added to your previous record. In that situation you can choose this, you can think about this, that whether you will evaluate only the new record or the old record also. Okay, but in our situation, our date we get new record every day, so it doesn't matter much. But you have to select one. So I'll say evaluate all records, then summary, then done. See, our data extension configuration is finished. Okay, and then we have to add the email. Oh, we haven't created our email till now. So in that case, we'll quickly we will create one email. Okay, so we have to go. Okay, before going to the email studio, I'll save it. Otherwise, whatever we have done, it will be lost. So it's saved. Now we'll go to the content builder. I have to go to content builder. So we are here in the content builder. Okay, in the content builder, we are going to create one email. So we'll click on the create button in the top right corner, and then email message, and we will select template. We will create it from the template. We are going to use one basic template. Okay, this one. Yeah, then select. So the name, I'll give you DOB test. Okay, then Next. Oh, email name must be unique. Okay, DOB test 00. Next. Yeah, so now we have to create the email. Now this one, I'm not doing any designing or anything. Okay, uh, I'll just write a text section probably here. The image block is there. Okay, here in the text section I will just write happy birthday, but please write like design a nice email. I have already created video on how to create email template. If you want to know more about creating template, please watch that video. I will leave a link below. Okay, so you can watch that and you can create your own nice good looking email. But here I will just write happy birthday. um, okay, and the coupon, your coupon code, blah blah blah. Okay, so done. Yeah, so this is just that's all. I will not spend time on email now. So this is going to be my first email. What I will do, I will write here also one more text, first email. Okay, just to for testing purpose we'll know. So done editing. Okay, now I will save this email. Oh, sorry, I have to put a subject line. So I will write DOB first email. Again, don't write subject line like this. This is just for testing purpose. You put a meaningful subject here. Okay, birthday wish or something like that. Now I will save it. This is going to be my first email. Quickly I will make another two email, my second email and third email. My three email assets are ready now. I have already prepared my journey data and I have prepared my emails which are going to be configured in our journey. This is the first, second and third email. Okay, so now I will go back to my journey builder. I have already configured my DOB Paro. I think this is my journey. DOB Paro. Yes, I have already configured here the data extension. Okay, and I have scheduled it uh, on the basis of the automation which I have created. So whenever the automation will start, once it's finished, the journey will start. Okay, so we don't have to bother about the timing of the journey. All right, so now this is the first email, so I'll click on that. Yeah, here select message. Okay, so I'll select it, so it will open the content builder. Okay, see here the first email was this one, DOB test 00. So click on summary. So message configuration, delivery options. Now here you can choose a lot of things, whether you want to send to all subscribers or not. Yeah, I will just leave all these things as it is at this moment. Then done. So our email has been configured. Okay, so now we are going to configure all the emails one by one. The second email, select message. content builder. Now this is the second one. We'll select that. So the second email is already configured, and then we'll select the third one also. Select message. We'll select the third email here. Done. So we have already configured our email now. Yeah. So now we have to configure the decision split. Now, unfortunately, I will not be able to configure decision split, but I will show you what's the reason. Yeah. Now, once you click on the decision split, see, we have only two paths here. Okay. The first path, second path. So this is the first path, redeemed, did not redeem. Okay, so redeemed means if they have redeemed our voucher and they have already purchased our item. Okay, so if we click on the edit, there are two options: contact data, journey data. Now to get the purchase data, in this situation normally we should use the contact data to get the real-time data, okay, from the Salesforce CRM, where our purchase data will be there. But unfortunately, in this business unit, I don't have access. So, and there is security reason also. So uh, for that this data I cannot prepare actually, so I will not be able to show you, but I'll just show you, like if you click here, there will be your data from here. From any data extension, you can choose your data. Okay, so I will just cancel it at the moment. Discard changes. So sorry, I will not be able to complete this whole thing, because I don't have access. So otherwise, in this way you can complete your journey, and after completing, you can save and activate the journey. Okay, now I'll just save it, but I'll not be able to activate also. This is just a testing business unit. I don't have all the access here. So our project is pretty much finished. We just couldn't configure the decision split here. And again, I want to mention one thing. I haven't explained the each and everything, like whole journey builder, whole automation studio here, because I just wanted to give you an overview of the whole campaign project. So so whatever we have done here, first we designed our, uh, I'll just summarize the whole thing. So first we designed our journey builder, okay, the journey. After designing, we created the emails, and we before that we created our data. And creating that data is a little bit, I think, the main thing here, because if your data is not correct, your the whole campaign will not work properly. So you must prepare your data properly, nice and clean data. So here in the automation studio, we created one automation, and we created that automation. We configured it as a scheduled one, a scheduled automation. It's not a file drop one. And we configured our journey on the basis of that automation. We could make it just a recurring journey also, but when we use the automation, I always prefer to connect it with the automation, because what happens then we don't need to bother about the starting time of the journey builder whenever, because every day this automation is going to run and refresh our data. Okay, so every day after finishing the automation, it's going to run our journey. Okay, so we don't need to bother about whether we are how much time to give after to run the automation or anything, all this stuff. So automatically the journey will stop after finishing the automation. Okay, so yeah, so this is pretty much an overview of a marketing cloud campaign project. In future I am going to I am going to create some journey um, where I will show you like the everything, like how the journey is running. Like maybe I will use some API event. I will create one cloud page, and from there I will create the API event as an entry source, and probably I will be able to run the journey there. I'll see that in just be tuned and be with me, and thank you so much for watching my video and for supporting me. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe my channel. And till then, thank you. Bye bye.